So top of page 60, go ahead and give me 2 points. Give me 2 points, top of page 60. So you have 40, but now 40 is the x. What was the y to that? 40 and 215. And then now what's your second point? 50 and 238. Now, whenever you're about to try to derive an equation, you want to make sure you label your ordered pairs. So this one should be x1 and y1. So if you didn't do that on your paper now. x2 and y2. Just have it labeled. Even though you might not use point slope, it's good just to have it labeled anyway, because as we do things throughout this unit or throughout this year with trying to input into the Pythagorean theorem or distance formula, you just want to have your x, y's labeled, especially when you have more than 1 point. So now, first, I'm going to solve this by point slope method. So I'm going to go point slope. And now, what's the formula for point slope? Anybody? Do you remember? Do you recall? Do you have it on your paper? Formula for point slope? It's just no. It's any. It doesn't even matter. Just give me the formula for point slope.
Okay, so that would be 215.
No, the formula for it. The formula, not if you've plugged in. Just the formula for point slope. What's the point slope formula? Come back. What you got? You had your hand up.
Y minus y1
Uh-huh.
equals
Uh-huh. You're there. Halfway. Literally halfway. Okay, forgot the rest of it. What you got? M. Ah. Yes. Uh-huh. Perfect. So this is the point slope. So if you don't have this, actually, as a matter of fact, yeah. Do we have a page? We have a page in here for notes somewhere. Where are we at? Page. Is it 60? Was that 59? Oh, I had one empty page before that, don't I? That's the first empty page? It might be the first empty page. You might want to get this down, because I can see that I want to make sure that everyone has this example where you can do it 2 different ways. Yeah, go to page 59. We'll put it on here. So go to page 59. Go ahead and start writing this down here. I want to do it by point slope and slope intercept. So whatever which way works for you, you have a detailed example of how to go about solving it. So I already have this done. So start writing this now on page 59. So you have your 2 points, 40 and 215, 50 and 238. We label them x1, y1, x2, y2. It really helps if you're going to use point slope to have them labeled. So from here, let's just plug in what we have, or let's substitute what we have. So we have y minus, and now Diego, I'm still rolling with you. What do I substitute for y1? What do I substitute for y1? Now I'm going to plug in the values into the formula. 215 equals m times and x minus what's x1? 40. All right. What are we missing here? We're missing something pretty important that we don't have. Slope, right? The m. So now let's go ahead and find our slope. What is the small little formula that you use to find slope, to give you a value of the steepness of the line? So slope measures what it measures. So slope is, it measures the steepness of a line. So write this down. That's what slope is. It measures the steepness of a line. So that value is telling you how steep your line is. So what is the formula that we use if we have 2 points to find the slope? Do you remember what that formula is? Yes. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We could also use delta y over delta x. I'm going to use delta often, so that little triangle means delta. The word for this delta, and it's Greek, that means change in. Some of you might have, I think somebody already said that. Perfect. Change in. The change in y over the change in x. Awesome. So let's take this, and can somebody give me my values I have to plug in for my y? Well, and let me stop saying somebody, because it's the same people that just look like they're never going to contribute all class. So I'm try to change some of that. Alexander Salgado. Who's that? Okay. So what am I going to plug in right now for my values to find the slope? What am I plugging in? So you're saying 238. So M is going to be 238 minus 215. Uh-huh. 50 minus 40. Beautiful. Now, 238 minus 215, Diego, what is that? 23. And then we know 50 minus 4, 40 is going to be 10. Perfect. So we have our value of slope now. We have the value that says the steepness of this line. On Y, I go up 23 units. On X, I go to the right 10. Might be a pretty steep line. So now I have my M. So now I'm going to rewrite it and plug in my M. Excellent. Let's see who's next here. Let me get off of Diego for a little bit. Demarius, what would I do next? What do you think I should do next here if I'm trying to derive this equation? Oh, I like that. Yes, I distribute the 23 over 10 to both values inside the parentheses. So now I have 23 over 10. Now, what is 23 over 10 times x? Beautiful. Minus, now what's 23 times 40? I only got a calculator, so if she didn't give it to me, somebody else can. Say it again. 920 over what? Over 10. Perfect. This is like pretty much having 40 over 1. So 23 times 40, 920. 10 times 1, 10. Excellent. Now, what is it I should do? All right, well, can we simplify that constant back here first? It's kind of large. So 920 divided by 10 is what? 92. Now what should I do? Add 215 to both sides. But why am I doing that? I'm trying to isolate the y. Your answers are lovely. So now I'm going to go plus 215 equals 23 over 10x minus 92 plus 215. Y equals 23 over 10x. Hey, and what's 215 minus 92? I don't know what that is. Say it again. 123. Do we agree? Because I don't want to write it if it's not right. So all of you have a freaking calculator. Punch it in if you didn't get it, or you maybe chose 2 other points. It doesn't really matter. You have a calculator. 215 minus 92. You might be right, but I want to make sure some other people agree. What do you think? Where's your calculator at? That's great, but the problem I'm doing right now is what we're all doing together. So 123 is my man right? Gotta get thumbs up if you agree. All right, I'll go ahead. Plus 123. Excellent. Now that's finding the equation by point slope form. But what an equation is, so let's write this out. Because someone asks you, okay, what are you doing? I'm driving equations. Oh, what's an equation? An equation, so an equation is a pattern that helps you make predictions. That's why people make equations. They make equations so they can make predictions. If I have a pattern, I can follow this pattern and figure out what happened, what might happen in the future, and what's already happened behind me. That's what these patterns are for mathematically. So an equation is a pattern that helps you make predictions. That's what an equation is. So that's what we're trying to make these equations, because we're going to start making predictions with our data, with our car and ramp in a little bit. All right, so this was through point slope form. Let me finish saving this, and then I'll do the other one, slope intercept. We can probably take a break, and then